You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is Tea Time. Hello and welcome to the program. This is where we bring you some of the hottest and juiciest entertainment stories. I'm Tokunbo Taiwo, and I'm here with the tactful and diplomatic Elsie Godwin and the vocal and outspoken Ife Oshunkeye. Hello, people.
What's that?
Hey.
Say, what's new this morning?
You are my king here. Stop allowing me to repeat all these things.
Why are you doing like that? Anyways, okay, so Banky W, after being trolled by the ladies at the mall a few months back,
About his car?
has finally decided, although he said it then that he was going to auction the car and then the proceeds would go to charity. So the auction is taking place 25th of November. So in case you want to own a range, please.
What kind of range?
It's the
1992.
old model.
I don't know if it's 1992. I'm just joking.
I didn't look good to the two girls, let alone you, Elsie.
It's charity, so
It's
if
charity.
you have
But
money,
he said he was going to do something special, though. I think he said he's had great moments in that car. A lot of superstars
has
have
been
been in the car.
yeah.
So I think there's going to be something different. Maybe they're going to sign on the seat, so they're going to... Excuse for what exactly?
Never mind.
I think anybody's entitled to drive whatever model of car they wish
Ife,
to, as
will
long
you
as
buy
it's
it?
comfortable.
If it's just making up for banking.
will you buy it?
Yeah, why not? See if
Okay, so it's on the 20. This month or next month?
If Ife buys it,
No,
you
no,
never
I'm
drive
saying
it.
I can buy it,
auction, is
but
it for
I'm not
this
going
month
to.
or
Yeah,
next
yeah,
month?
this month.
But you're not
So
going to
you're
drive it.
buying it, right?
No, I'm not buying
Why?
it.
No, but if you did
No,
buy it,
because
would you drive it?
I'm
Aiming higher.
Yeah, exactly. You got the right word. Yeah.
Exactly.
But really,
That's
people
what I'm
he
saying.
expects to buy that car are supposed to be probably his friends too that will auction it to a point where whatever money comes out of it will be able to do something good for the home it is going to. You know, so it's a good idea. Yeah, but if I'm there, I think I'll start the bid so that someone will bid higher, and you know, at least I'll be there.
No one bids higher.
Why would they be there without trying to bid? That would be wrong and rude. So
I'm
To just see if anybody's going to buy it.
yeah,
How about that?
so I'll be the first to bid, and we'll take it off from there.
You be the
I hope
first.
you
You
don't
just
get
want to be the
stuck.
first.
Yes.
I think we should even go and see for
Yeah,
ourselves.
we have to.
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Tokuba, would you buy the car?
Never.
Why?
So I don't even understand
Even when
how
you
anyone...
know it is for charity.
For charity. Yeah, right. I think we
It's
should
not
move on
philanthropic
to
like that.
moving on to today's stories, we've got scoop on Burna Boy, Ufuoma McDermott, Ali Baba, and Kwam Won. All that and with all of the analysis right here, right now. We're starting with Burna Boy, who responds to Blac Chyna coming to Nigeria to promote her Whitenicious Cream by saying, "Ladies, you are beautiful." So, yeah.
What is that supposed to mean? First and foremost, I did not use Whitenicious.
See guilty conscience.
Baby picture here.
See guilty
This
conscience.
is natural.
Yeah, also
You know, that's
natural.
one. And secondly, I think we are all getting in our feelings when it comes to Blac Chyna. I mean, she's not the one introducing bleaching to Nigeria.
Oh, okay. No, I was going to say she's not. No, but you can actually correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because as far as I'm,
It's not even her business.
That's what I'm trying to
It's
say.
more like I can go to Densia and say I want a line
Is
that
it
will be
Densia?
Elsie's. Is it Densia or
Densia.
Some
Densia?
people say Densia because I've been saying Densia. I'm like, I hope I'm getting it right.
I think it's
Well, so I can go
What
there
do
and
you
say
say?
I want a line that says Elsie's product. If I have the crowd to sell it, all I do is to get percentage from whatever she sells, and that's normal business that happens
Yeah,
everywhere.
so I'm like, everyone should be, should be blasting on Densia, not
But you know, people
Blac
just pick up
Chyna.
their phone to type. They don't even know what they're
I'm
talking
like,
about.
seriously, what's going on? Why is everyone getting on
So
Blac
it is
Chyna's
not her
case?
product. It's
not
just
her
a
product.
line
She's
that is
supporting.
named
She's
after
just
her,
exactly.
you know, and she's coming to support it.
And then I think
Why
this is
are you quiet,
also a
Ife?
PR for them to sell the products because she's going to be there. People are going to
And
want
I mean,
to
the
see
PR
her.
is working because
It's working.
I never knew about this until the whole opera and everybody is like, don't come and sell us bleaching cream. The bleaching cream people are using already, pouring chemical together in Ojota.
Okay, but before even Ife comes in, let me quickly ask Elsie.
Ife doesn't look like he wants to come in.
Oh, you guys crack me up big time. But Elsie, let me quickly say, if by any chance all of the negative press that this product has been receiving, do you think by any chance that it can affect sales and that people will boycott?
No, my
people
dear,
will still,
no,
people will still turn up.
No, people will turn up. In fact, this is going to be big for Densia or Densia. It's going to be very big for her because she's going to sell. And no matter what you say about Blac being beautiful, Blac being this, there's so many people that are sold on the idea of I have to be as fair as, I'm not going to use LC, I have to be as fair as Mona Lisa Chinda to be a chick, you know? So there are people that are sold on that. But do you think
she will sell on the basis of 90K?
I'm saying she will sell 90K. There are people that have a jar or something they use every month, and I hear it's like 150K a month, and I heard this like 3 years ago, so definitely it has increased.
Ife, you've got to come in right now.
You know, 200,000 a month. So it's 90K I don't know how big it is or how large the jar is, but 90K for those who are invested in their skin and trying to have, what do they call it now? Some have the Caucasian skin.
The whitenicious.
You know, they spend this money.
If seriously, I'm dying to hear what you've got to say.
She just seems so well informed about this product. That
woman is. Because I started hearing from yesterday. I didn't even know it was 90K until yesterday as well.
I'm telling you, there are products in Nigeria that are more expensive than 90K.
Okay, let's hear what Ife has to say.
Bag of cement is how much?
Wow.
It's like 2,000, 3,000 now.
Okay, so if you're going to spend $250 on a Whitenicious Cream and you're not thinking about securing your future and you're thinking about...
So hold on, so the bag of cement, hold on.
If they want to invest
the bag of cement is the future.
Wait now, I'm talking about other things you can invest in with 250.
Owning a property,
owning a property,
need to own a land,
buying land. Wait, relax. Why won't you just let? Maybe you finished advertising for bleaching girls.
Whitenicious.
So let me finish my own now.
Okay.
I'm into real estate. Any problem? So the thing now is, first of all, where Burna Boy, you guys even missed the point completely from saying that why are they blasting Blac Chyna? Now, Blac Chyna is coming to support a brand. Obviously, this would drive more crowd or more people to that place to come and buy
partnership. It's not just
that product. And it's a partnership with Densia. So Burna Boy is saying, don't come and sell your poison in our country.
But it is not her poison. It's a poison that is already in your... If you want to call it
she has been blasted as well, all the way from yesterday.
This is what we all know, that people are beginning to speak against bleaching. A lot of people, I don't know if you guys saw the video that went viral recently about a girl that went to do both implants and then they started getting rotten and all of that, and she was advising people. So people are already coming out to speak up against bleaching. So why should anyone be in support of Blac Chyna coming to support a brand? I would blast Blac Chyna before I even come to Densia, because why should she be in support of bleaching? Yeah, she's getting paid for this. I understand it's PR. But what Burna Boy is doing is absolutely the right thing. He's using his platform. And like you said, do you think people will boycott? Yes, I think people would boycott. On the grounds of... Because Burna Boy said something like, if you go there, then the thunder that will fire you is wearing that big...
So you think people are worried about Burna Boy's thunder?
No.
The same Burna Boy that is telling us to smoke weed every day. Please, let's focus. If Burna Boy wants to...
Well, I'm going to use this platform to tell people that Blac is beautiful.
Yes, of course,
be
Blac is
be proud. You do not have to be LC. You do not have to be Chimamanda.
It's not Chimamanda, Mona Lisa.
No, it's the Chinda that confused the Chimamanda.
All right.
So I'm just saying, man, at the end of the day, Blac is beautiful. Do not come and sell your poison in our country.
Time for a break, but stay tuned to find out the latest updates on Ufuoma McDermott. Stay right here. It's where the big stories live. This is Plus TV Africa.
When I did it, I was full-on, hands-on on the whole project.
So how did you deal with it? All of that negativity?
I got depressed, obviously. Duh. Haven't you heard?
I've got two of the hottest topics currently trending on social media. If you've seen the word Senate trending on Twitter, that's because the Nigerian police force has gone Trump style.
I haven't shared this with anyone, but I reckon I get about like 100 people asking for help a day. That's a fact. I can prove that.
Welcome welcome back. You're watching Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa. Up next is this headline on actress, filmmaker and former model Ufuoma McDermott, who has a few words for people who bring down other types of birth. Okay, so like Ife did the first time.
What is going on right now? Of course, she's right. I heard, in fact, this one is IVF. This is a fight between IVF and natural.
I think it's IVF and all the other methods.
No, I'm saying at least she is mentioning IVF for her own and then conceiving naturally and all. But there's been a battle between having your child through C-section and natural birth. Some women are saying we are the real mothers because we had to go through labor and we pushed and all that. And then if you did C-section, you've not experienced the real... How does this even... How does it matter? Why is it a conversation? Why do you think it's important for you to feel like you are doing something special because you went through a great deal of pain? You know,
and then it's not just the pain. I think they're also concerned about the time because some women go as long as 10, 14 hours in labor. And some people go as much as 48.
I'm saying if you actually have the money and you're in a good, you're in a very good hospital, it's something you can say, my child is due on this date. I want you to bring it out. I'm not ready to push. It's an option.
Some women do that.
Yes. So I'm telling you that there are women that says if you're doing that, then you are not mother enough. That you have to go through the labor pain, you have to push, you have to dance and do the whole scatter your head. Then we know you are
Before
the real, you are a real mother. You know, but
it's
I
ridiculous.
don't understand.
It's ridiculous.
So now they are taking it to IVF and being able to conceive. And we've not even talked about surrogate mothers. So what will you say?
Yeah, it's also part of the different types of childbirth and all that. So IVF, just let's enlighten people that do not know what IVF really means. IVF is like extracting one of your eggs, mixing it with a sperm, whether from a donor.
You have to get graphic. Look, we know what it means, you know.
No,
but
a lot
for
of people do not know.
Yeah, they can learn. You don't have
then
to,
wait, hold on. And then they put it back inside you. So I'm getting, hold on, talks. Let me just finish. Then they put it back inside you. So I do not see any difference between...
And they hope that it keeps growing.
And it grows.
Yeah.
Sometimes women have to do it multiple times before it works.
It doesn't necessarily always have to be with the woman that actually, they don't put it necessarily back into the woman. They do it through other women as well.
That's surrogate.
That's surrogate. We're talking about IVF. IVF, they put it
back to the same woman.
No,
That's
it's always back to the same woman.
They say sometimes there's different kinds of IVF.
When you decide to put it somewhere else, it becomes a surrogate mother.
That's what I'm saying, that all of them are in the same field.
Lord.
That's why I didn't want us to get into it. We don't want to.
I did a thorough research.
I did the thorough research as well.
Okay, so you're telling us that if we go back and check now, IVF, they put it back.
What I'm saying is that there are different kinds of IVF. That's what I'm saying. And this one I'm saying is a different kind.
Okay, see, the thing is they're all IVF. But when you now get to the point where you're putting it into another woman, then that's a surrogate mother. But it's all IVF, and that process he just explained is basically the process of an IVF.
Okay, you can carry on.
After interrupting my thought process.
Just try it.
Carry on. You can't remember.
Okay, so back to the story. Now, at this point, the difference, I don't think there's much difference because the reason why you go through IVF is because you are not even sure of your fertility rate in the first place. So
some women are fertile. It's just the man that maybe may have an issue.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I was talking about the both of them when I was talking about the fertility.
You did make it clear. That's why I was trying to clarify.
All right, good. So stop interrupting me, talks. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's just go back to the story. Let me just since you don't want us to talk about the whole process, let's just go back to it. I do not think people should bring down women for whatever way they decide to have their child. Even if I decide to adopt a child, I don't think it's anybody's business. As long as you're bringing a life into the world and you're raising it as your own and you're raising it, there's no point of anyone bringing anyone down regardless of how they gave birth.
Elsie, let me ask you, do you think it's a mentality thing? The kind of mentality some people have? Because let me give you an instance. I know someone that gave birth to twins. And for a long time, she didn't get, she couldn't conceive, yeah, exactly, or get pregnant. And then eventually she said she had conceived, she had given birth, you know, and she gave birth to twins. But a lot of her family members and a lot of her in-laws were backlashing her, saying that, no, how can she, you know, conceive? How can she give birth without anyone seeing her while she was pregnant? And majority of the people that were complaining and backlashing her were from the older generation. So I don't know. I'm just asking what you think. If you think it's a mentality,
do you think was her case a surrogate case, or
the thing is we don't know because she kept it private. But they are speculating that yes, because for a long time she hadn't gotten pregnant. They don't think she gave birth because they didn't see her pregnant. So I'm like, even if it's true that she had IVF, or even if she adopted, you know, I'm just thinking, is this a mentality kind of thing?
Course,
you know,
what's the major thing we battle in this part of the world? I don't even want to make it a peculiar to Nigeria because it happens
Africa,
almost everywhere. Even in the whole world, there are people, when you read their conversations, you realize that the things you try to attribute to just Nigerians and Africans happens almost everywhere in the world, you know. So it's a mentality thing, like you said, it's an orientation thing. It's because you think this thing has to go this way, so it has to go that way, and you have conditioned your thoughts to be that way. So what if she did not have the child her own, the way you expect it to go? The fact is that she has a child, and that is where you need to start minding your business.
True,
you know,
true.
So I think it's a mentality thing, and yeah.
And then, do you think Ufuoma McDermott is coming out now on the back of, you know, what's her name, Michelle Obama saying, you know, she also had IVF?
It's quite possible because one thing about celebrities is they look for something they want to farms and jump on it. I mean, you had your child 2 years ago. We know how these things are accepted or how large and how minimal it is. So I don't expect her to try to talk about her son and then bringing it back up that it's IVF. But then if she has decided to take herself as the person that will be a voice to people going through things like that, that is interesting and
okay,
cool.
we need to go on a break.
I didn't see the need.
I wanted you to, one final thought before we move on.
Well, it's just, I'm just going to disagree with you that she's saying this off the back of Michelle Obama saying she had IVF, because she also went through this, so she's talking from her own standpoint.
No, I'm saying if she's bringing this to light now that...
No, I just think maybe because of the backlash she's also getting. Her own personal experience is what is making her talk about this.
All right, thank you, Ife. Time for another break. When we come back, it'll be time for some juicy conversation on relationships. Keep it where you've got it. Keep it right here on Plus TV Africa.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 they pay.
Welcome back. It's still tea time right here on Plus TV Africa, and we're moving on to our next story, which is on Alibaba, who reveals what kills relationships. Okay, so who wants to go first?
You.
Fair.
No,
Ife?
Talk should go first. So tell us about
She
it.
said Ife, so let's listen. Ladies first. Let's listen to you. She said Ife. So go on.
Okay, so I think Alibaba, I mean, I read the whole article, or what do I call it now, and he was making a whole lot of sense. We assume, but how do I summarize it? What he was trying to say is we assume a lot. When you expect things to go the way, or when you expect things to go this way and it's not going that way, you begin to feel, okay, why is this person doing this? He's doing this because he doesn't want to help me. He's doing this because this and that. So he was just saying what I know I go through personally, even on the faulty side. Because yes, I've had times where I expect something from someone, or I call and they don't pick, and then I begin to think, why are you doing this? Is it because you don't want to do this? Why not just tell me you don't want to do it? But then I'm growing into that point where I realized that so many things might be happening at that point. There was a time I had a serious issue that I wasn't picking anybody's call. And then I realized later on that some people were like, oh, Elsie is being proud. She doesn't want to pick our call. She doesn't want to talk to us. She feels. But at that point, I just couldn't pick anybody's call. That was the situation I was at that point. You know, so we was trying to say we should learn to not assume, find out what the fact is, and try to believe what people finally tell you. Don't always think that Tokumbo is saying this because he wants to cover up something. Ife is saying this. No, that is not the truth. There is another truth after the truth. You know, that's just what he was trying to say.
And until you hear from the person.
Yeah, and when you hear finally, you just have to believe. Because he said something about having to, some people asking him for money, and he told them he doesn't have. But they find it difficult to believe that an Alibaba does not have money at that point. But everybody gets broke.
At some point.
You know, it's not like his brokenness is going to be like the poor people that would linger on for a while. But there are times, I believe there are times, even from his article, he has confirmed it, there are times his bank balance will be really low that he cannot go out of his way to help anybody. And then when somebody like that tells you that, you should believe it and not feel because it's Alibaba, he can walk into any bank and collect money.
One of the stories I found very interesting is one of the ones that he told where the woman was going to the bank to withdraw some money.
To lend someone.
To loan someone. Meanwhile, the person, and she forgot her phone in the car.
In the cab.
And then the person was calling, and unfortunately...
By the time she got her phone back, she got messages, oh, you don't want to help me. Why didn't you just say it?
That you don't want to help me.
She said a lot of things in the message, and the lady just went back into the bank and kept her money back.
Instead of... Meanwhile, they had
and that
gone
is
to
what
the
I
bank
would have done.
as well.
Yes.
Ife, you haven't said a word?
Ife is on the calm side today.
Yeah, because I'm just listening. I'm on the listening side today. And yes, you guys have already covered most of it. Like, we assume too much, and then bringing it back to the relationship. Okay, we've been talking about what people assume about what they expect from you and all of that. But I'm going to look at it from the relationship point of view, in the sense that sometimes you don't know what your partner is going through. You don't know what is going on with them, and then maybe at some point in time, you know your partner to be this guy that calls you every time, like, how you doing, checking up on you. Then it doesn't do that for 2-3 days, and you start assuming like, oh, he's in a relationship with another girl, he's probably tired of me, he's doing that. So sometimes it just takes a lot of patience and understanding to be able to understand that assuming things is more dangerous to you than it could be helpful. So you just need to be patient, try and understand people, try and know what they're going through before you jump into conclusion, which is why I never speak unless I have the facts.
Okay, very interesting indeed. Basically, what Ife is saying is give everyone the benefit of doubt, yes?
Yeah.
All right, up next, Nigerian Fuji artist Kwam One reveals reasons why he doesn't live with any woman in his mansion. And I saw his mansion is quite good, actually.
Quite big. I mean,
quite big, quite a mansion
that
indeed.
He built that mansion to accommodate his wives and children.
Yeah, and then to think, you know, you live in such a mansion all by yourself with just the household stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I really don't know, because at the end, well, they said he's very meticulous, and that even when at one point in time he allowed one of the wives to live in the house, that he was not so comfortable with it. He was living in hotels, and that at the end of the day, when she realized what was going on, she actually packed out of the house herself. And then he says, you know, he doesn't want children to litter, you know, the place, that he's so meticulous, he doesn't want children to litter the whole house, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. If I was say you.
I think it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes if you have an artistic mind like he does, he's an artist, he needs personal space to get creative and all of that. He has an
I'm glad you're looking at him like that, because I want to look at him like that as well. Seriously, anyway, but let's let him land.
He has an in-house studio where he needs to focus. And this is somebody that's obviously is being a star for so long. There's so many women in his life. I'm not saying that, I'm not encouraging that, but I'm saying that it's better when you keep certain things private, like your peace of mind. Women that do not understand your craft, that do not understand what you do, can actually be an hindrance to your thought process.
Do you think he got involved with the wrong women? based on what
No,
you just
no,
said?
no. I do not know about that, so I'm not going to speak on it. But I'm just saying that as an artist, a lot of them you realize that they require space. So regardless of whether you have a mansion or you have a place that can accommodate 20 women comfortably, but this is where I work. This is where I live. I want to raise a family. And if my family cannot respect my personal space, then, and I have enough money to get you another house, then I think I'll do the same. I'm just saying from my own opinion.
From what you just said, I mean, I don't have any problem with his decisions. It is life and how he wants to live it. But if I want to respond to what you're saying, I don't understand it, because I feel like even growing up with our parents, or let me say myself, that my parent is not a Kwam1. When they tell you this part of the house is not your territory, you don't go there. Not to talk of when you have a mansion that has flats in it, and you can have a studio or have a particular building to yourself, and nobody dares goes there because they know this is daddy's space. You know, and then I was reading the whole thing, and then at the end someone said because of how popular and this is, the marriage, the troubles that come with marriage is not for him, but he can hook up women and get married to them. Like I said, I don't have a problem with it, but the excuses they are giving is just his personal excuse.
I don't think they are excuses. I just think we all have our different ways.
Yeah, which I say I respect it. I mean, the people that are getting married to him understand it and have agreed to it.
Oh, I wish we had time to talk about this for long, but unfortunately, that's where we're going to wrap up on Tea Time today. Join us tomorrow for brand new episodes tomorrow. Join us this afternoon, actually. Until then, a big thank you to my co-anchors, Ife and Elsie. And I also have to thank the production team as well. I'm Tokumbo Taiwo saying thanks for watching and have yourself a good morning.